Hi there, my name is Valerie Red, and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of respecting the right of others to live and believe as they please, and how doing so can promote societal contentment. Suppose you have strong beliefs in God and I tell you you're wrong for believing in God. Or suppose that you don't believe in God at all and I treat you differently because I think you should believe in God. We all have our own individual, unique beliefs and ways of life that make us happy, religion being just one aspect of this, and we wouldn't want anybody to take this from us. So by extending the same rights to other individuals that we would ask them to extend to us, we can make a better world for everybody. At a point in my life, I was intolerant of the ways that others choose to live and believe. And over the last few years, I've alleviated myself of some of the concerns of the way others live, and it's been liberating. So today we're going to talk about how all have the right to live and believe as they please. And to help understand the concept, we're going to talk about some common differences that we see in the beliefs and lifestyles of people. We're going to talk about some factors that lead us to be intolerant of others. And we're going to talk about the importance of respecting the rights of others to live and believe as they please. So let's go ahead and begin with some common differences that we see in beliefs. Religious and spiritual beliefs are probably the most significant and most controversial. Imagine the religious and spiritual beliefs that you have and how sacred you hold them and how much they mean to you. And realize that just because another individual doesn't believe the same as you doesn't mean that they don't hold the same value to their beliefs, doesn't believe that their beliefs aren't as important. Also realize that there are other issues in our lives that aren't directly related to religion but can be influenced by our religious beliefs, such as gun control, abortion, homosexuality, and many others. Political and economic views are another very intense issue where we see a lot of differences in beliefs. And when someone else has a different political view than us, we tend to take it as a personal attack or make it a personal matter. It's important to remember when discussing politics that nobody can change your mind, so that can help alleviate some of the defensiveness you might feel. Realize you're also probably not going to change anybody else's opinion. In the article, It's Good to Talk Disagreements and Tolerance from the British Journal of Political Science, Johnston and Patty state that if you're going to talk about political issues, do so with intelligence, without emotion, and do so with the intent of understanding what the other person's trying to say, and not just to impose your views on them. Cultural and social differences are another area that we see differences commonly. How a person chooses to spend their leisure time or to celebrate is one area, and this can include the differences in consumption of alcohol, the presence of violence or nudity. Also, how we view relationships, monogamous versus plural relationships, or homosexual relationships, or premarital relationships, or premarital cohabitation. So now that we've talked about some common differences that we see in beliefs and lifestyles, let's talk about some factors that can lead us to be intolerant of others' rights. Fear is a huge motivator in human beings. People are afraid of what they don't know, and they're afraid of what they don't understand. And this can lead them to faulty beliefs or inaccurate beliefs. Oftentimes it can lead them to believe that all things will end in disastrous results if everybody doesn't have the same opinion as them. Socialization and social conditioning is another culprit for the reasoning behind why we don't respect the rights of others. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines socialization as the process by which a human being, beginning at infancy, acquires the habits, beliefs, and accumulated knowledge of society throughout education and training for adult status. This is where we're taught what is right and what's wrong, what's acceptable or what's unacceptable, or what's good or what's bad. We can even be taught that if others have differences and opinions than us, that's bad. In the article, Cultural Development, Diversity, Expectable Pluralism, Conflict, and Similarities from the Organization of Diversity and Developmental Perspectives, Weisner states that cultural values taught by our parents and local cultures oftentimes conflict with the others in society and can promote cultural conflicts. In the February 2010 edition of Public Rights Quarterly, Marie Benedicte Dion-Boer states that we do not all conceive of human rights in the same way. How we perceive others' entitlement to human rights can also affect how we treat others' right to live and believe as they choose. Some historical examples are how we viewed the society, class in society, and how we've reviewed other races in society. The KKK is a stern example of how some people believe that others are not entitled to certain rights based on these things. So now that we've talked about some factors that can lead us to be intolerant of others' beliefs and lifestyles, let's talk about the importance of respecting the right of others to live and believe as they choose. When we impose our own views on somebody else and expect them to live how we believe, it can build walls and drive wedges between individuals and groups in society and can create hostility and tension. We're all entitled to happiness and the right to live and believe as we choose without the imposition of other people. In the book, Realizing Human Rights, Morrison states that not respecting the rights of others can cause feelings of demoralization and can create hostility and tension between individuals. When we find ourselves concerned with the way others live their lives, it takes up our own time, our own energy, and causes stress and unnecessary frustration for us. Think of a time where you might have been irritated with somebody for not believing the same as you, and think about the physiological and emotional feelings that you had. So all this being said, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be proud of who you are or be strong with your own beliefs or talk about what you believe and what you feel. It only becomes dangerous when you prevent another individual from living as they please without your imposition, or when you judge others or treat others differently. So today we've talked about some common beliefs that we see in some common differences we see in beliefs and lifestyles. We've talked about some factors that lead us to be intolerant of others, and we've talked about why it's important to respect the rights of others. So while we often find it easy to decide how we feel others should live and how others should believe, when you catch yourself doing so, ask yourself these questions. Does it really have an impact on me, or should it concern me? What difference does it make to me? Why do I even care? And what gives me the right to deem what's right or wrong in the first place? So I challenge each of you to go out and in your actions and your beliefs, let go of some negative feelings that you may have towards another individual because of differences, and see if it doesn't alleviate stress in your life and increase happiness, and do the same for others. Thank you very much.